Good afternoon, everyone. This is Ben Coleman, your anchor host for the Florida Aviation Network, coming to you live and in the clear here at the Central Florida Aerospace Academy. We're at Sun and Fun 51, and the motto, more fun in 51. The reason that we're here at Florida Aviation Network, and particularly here at Sun and Fun, is the myriad of people that we come across that are the shakers and the movers, or the movers and the shakers, depending on tomato, however you want to mention it, but folks that are making things happen in the industry. And this is our last show before we get out and watch the air show here, which if you're not here watching the air show, big problem. You got to be here. And tonight is the night air show. Everybody's going to be showing up to watch the night air show. And the best spot to watch it is here on the Sun and Fun campus, viewing to the north, because everything is geared up and set up to the north, viewing to the north. We have folks that help us do this. Our volunteers, they dedicate the most precious thing and the most expensive thing in life is time. They dedicate their time to help us do this, and we are so thankful that they're willing to do it. And the way that we thank them is through recognition and through some of our sponsorship. And one of our major sponsors is Piedmont, and we are blessed and so fortunate to have a representative of the airline, the big Piedmont airline, Tyler Tenbrink.
Good to meet you.
Tenbrink, and let's welcome Tyler here. And Tyler, what do you do for Piedmont?
I'm the Director of Talent Acquisition for Piedmont Airlines.
Talent acquisition is in like playing guitar, piano, what?
No, we actually we find talent for all sorts of jobs at Piedmont Airlines. So from pilots to corporate staff to anybody that you can think of at the airport, that's us.
And the most important person at Piedmont are your mechanics.
Correct.
Okay, all right. We just want to make sure we get our priorities straight here.
Exactly.
You can tell where I come from. Okay. Tyler. Talent acquisition. What is new this year? Because it's been a while since we have spoken, and again, we're here to energize, to motivate, to educate our parents and our youth to get them involved. Because if someone is out there, she is 6, 7, 10, 12 years old, say, I would like to fly for the airline someday. This is the guy that's going to hook you up. What can we do to drive these people to let them know that there is a job for them in the industry and they can make a very good living, but the most thing is they can have an impact and help people get around, help them transport them from A to B safely? How?
Man, there's so many different pipelines now. The nice thing is the airlines have really gotten to the point where the situation has come up where money becomes an issue. Student loans, just the market itself, everything's really expensive, especially when you want to get into aviation. So at Piedmont Airlines, we have gone ahead and created programs to get people in the door that may have not otherwise been able to. Mm-hmm. So with our maintenance program, we have what we call the tuition payment program, which is no money up front. You interview kind of like a normal job coming out of high school. Hey, I have some interest in, mechanics. I want to work on cars. I worked on my dad's tractors. All of these things kind of correlate into A&P mechanics. You're able to, if you're able to turn a wrench, whether it's on a tractor or on an airplane, yeah, there's differences. Mm-hmm. However, we want to make sure people have that opportunity. And if you were ever out there going, oh, I really wish I could do this, but it's too expensive, we have a way to help you. We actually pay for your schooling to go to A&P school. So we have select partner schools, and we pay the entire way.
How about for the stick wigglers?
The stick wigglers. Now we have our cadet program, which is one of the only out there that still allows for payments. So we actually give someone a bonus to fly. To gain their 1,500 hours. Those programs have minimum requirements, so you have to either be a CFI or a commercial multi with at least 500 hours. So those are some ways to get in. But with the A&P program, what we call the TPP, that one, you actually don't have to have any experience at all. We will take you right out of high school, and we can push you into training, and we can have you as an A&P mechanic in almost 18 months.
That's great.
Yeah.
And it really is an opportunity. And other than the military, there's so many different paths that you can take to get into the industry and stay in the industry. But the thing with Piedmont, and what I really relish about you guys and gals, is your retention. Because once you go to the cost or the investment, it's not all about money. It's the investment of time, because all of your resources at Piedmont, you're there to perpetuate and keep that airline putting out the best product, and your product is transportation.
Correct.
And the best product that you could put out, it enhances your success in the industry. And it's a way for we get the people in there that know how to sell themselves. And I know, and some people say, I'm not into sales, I'm not into marketing. Well, I'm sorry, you are going to be a failure. You've got to sell yourself. And when you go to work, you go to this gentleman or his folks, his people, and they interview. They've got to do well on the interview, because you can't just accept it. You can't take a pile of mud and turn them into something beautiful, a beautiful statue. You got to have some firmness to that mud. We can take some mud, but it's got to have some malleability. You got to be able to work it.
Correct.
Where else do we go with this?
Oh, so, a lot of the problems that we see, and I get questions, what makes me competitive? What makes me stand out from the crowd? And there's a lot of, pilots and mechanics on the market, or just learning to be on the market. And the way to deal with that, and the way to, present yourself, is going to be through soft skills. There's a lot of things out there. You can look at someone's resume and they can look great on paper, but if they're not able to communicate with you, or they're not able to sell themselves, like you were saying, then it's going to be very difficult for people to get a job. So the advice is to work on those soft skills, work on those customer service skills, understand what people want to hear, and also be educated about the company you're going to work for, or you want to work for. There's always all sorts of things you could talk about yourselves. Get a little bit personal. Understand what your recruiter or whomever your hiring manager is that you're interviewing with. Get to know them. That way you have something to talk about and can hold a conversation.
One thing that I've noticed, Tyler, is a lot of our youth these days are not, I'm going to use the term outgoing. They're reserved.
They are.
They're a little mild, a little meek, and that's okay. The meek shall inherit the earth. I read that somewhere.
I think you did.
But you've got to, at some point, be dynamic and bold enough to let people know who you are. And in some cases, you need to learn yourself who you are.
You do.
You may not make it the first time. Nope. And that's okay.
Absolutely.
You've got one interview under your belt. How often should people interview, Tyler?
Oh man, even being I'm an industry veteran. I've been in the industry for 21 years now, and I still interview.
You started at age 3?
Yeah, that's right. I'm not aging myself at all, right? But no, I think being able to keep up on your interview skills is excellent. Even though I love my job and I love what I do, I still have to keep my skills strong. And I like to know what's going on outside of Piedmont, because we can get stuck in our own ruts and keep on doing the same thing over and over again, and it doesn't improve the candidate experience. So I'm constantly interviewing just because I want to make sure that I'm kept up on the latest and greatest. And it also keeps me in practice. It allows me to talk to people like you or people on the street about aviation.
Tyler, I want to pay you a compliment. Actually, I have 2 compliments for you. If you go to camera 2, I call it the soft pop. A lot of folks, when they have their shirts on, their company shirts, there's bling. They pop. I want you to see my logo. That's a very soft pop. I love that Piedmont emblem logo and recruiting underneath it. That's very subliminal, but it's soft.
It is.
And it makes you, the thing is, it pulls your eye to it and it makes you want to read what it is rather than, oh, man, it's like a neon sign on his chest. That's the first compliment. The second one, I'm thinking about doing my hair like yours. I like that. I like the look. I like the style.
Well, no one ever forgets the guy or the recruiter that has the mohawk. So, hey, the guy with the mohawk from Piedmont, he told me to come over here and talk to you.
Well, I'm thinking about the mohawk.
You should do it.
Should I?
You kind of have the reverse mohawk, which I'm digging it too.
Yeah. Well, I'm working on it, but all around, you're a class act. And
I appreciate it.
You're a good representative for the airline because Piedmont is a class act. I've known them. As a matter of fact, I learned proper English in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and that's the backyard.
That is the backyard,
and it is proper English. A little bit of a Tar Heel accent. But the Piedmont has an opportunity for just about every, and it's not just flying, and it's not just maintenance.
Correct.
What other areas, if they had an interest in working for a major airline, and again, they don't want to get you, train you, and then lose you to another airline. They want you to be there and again, be there to help push the brand, represent the company well, and really do a good job at whatever your assigned job is. And once you get into Piedmont, is there an opportunity to move around in the company?
I mean, you're looking at the guy who started in safety and now is in talent acquisition. So there's plenty of places to go when you're at Piedmont. And people don't realize that it's not just flight attendants, it's not just pilots, it's not just the mechanics. It's everybody that keeps this thing going. From talent acquisition to FP&A, so finance, to human resources to benefits. I mean, if you can think of any business in the world, we probably do it too. Every company has the same type of support staff. So even if you're not interested in airplanes, but you may be interested in travel, you have the opportunity to do something that you want to do plus work for an airline. And I will tell you, working for an airline, it gets in your blood and it never goes away.
How about travel bennies? Do you get any benefits?
So we call them travel privileges.
Oh,
yeah.
Not bennies.
Not bennies anymore, but travel privileges are one of the best things that happen in the airlines. You're able to hop on a flight and go anywhere in the world that we fly. When I'm talking about vacations or fun with my friends, they're all like, oh, but we got to buy plane tickets on top of the travel expenses and the hotels. And I'm like, oh, well, I just get to use more money towards other things because I fly for free.
And how about buddy passes? Do you guys have? Do you call them buddy passes?
We
anymore?
do. We still have them. It's not. They're the best part about the buddy passes is the fact that I can give one away tomorrow, and the flight is going to cost me the same amount of money. So it's really good for emergency travel, things like that. But I mean, we're pre-planners, so we enjoy trying to figure out the best way to get there. But the nice thing is if you want to guarantee yourself a seat, we also have what we call AA20s, and so we get a discount on our seats as well. So it's a great perk. We've got some great perks working for the airline.
How about? And I'm going to put you on the spot. We didn't practice this, but what is your fleet size now?
So we are planned to be at 70 Embraer 145s by June. So we continue to grow. We continue to bring back aircraft and put them in service, and the lift is needed. So we are flying as many aircraft as we can get our hands on.
How is, and I hate to keep popping you with these questions, but we did practice all of this. we rehearsed this for days. But the number of the folks, the applicants, do you have enough applicants now to fill your slots, or at what point do you start to sweat, or does personnel, HR, whatever you want to call it these days, when do they say, hey, we got a problem coming. If we don't get X amount of people in here by this date, we're going to have a shortage?
So the nice thing is we have done, the airline industry in general has done a great job of filling the pipeline. We've started our cadet programs and our pipeline programs that allow us to have a steady flow of applicants. Right now on the pilot side, We have a lot of applicants. It's a far cry from what it was a couple of years ago. With the A&P side, the mechanic side, it's a little bit more short, but continuing to build our pipelines using programs like the TPP and our cadet programs have really helped us out in the long run. And that's what we wanted. When we started these programs years ago, we knew it was a long game. But that long game is starting to pay off because we have the pipeline and we have the backfill as our pilots move on in their flow to American Airlines, which we have a no interview flow. We go ahead and backfill them with the cadet program, which has worked really well in our favor. And that's why I'm a very huge proponent of pipeline programs. It guarantees you a job. Not only are you working for Piedmont, which we have made an agreement with you, but you have agreed to work for us. So it's a mutual understanding. And it actually works very well for all of us. You're committed, we're committed, we all have skin in the game, and it's worked out really well.
Tyler, where are your maintenance bases?
Oh man, there's 7 of them. So we have Charlotte and Philly, which are our main hubs as well. Then we have Roanoke, we have Salisbury, we have Middletown, and I'm missing one, and I can't, it just popped off the top of my head.
It's right there.
It is. Roanoke, we have Albany as well. So there's actually a ton of them. And there's a lot of selection, and we have a lot of schools. So if you're interested in those TPP programs or even the cadet program, we have a lot of partners that we can go with, such as Liberty University or AIM in Norfolk. We partner with both of those schools to get you through your training and able to get your A&P license. Then you have a job, and it's guaranteed. So.
Salary range, I mean, we can talk range, but we got to let folks know that you can make a living doing this.
Oh, absolutely. I think that with our pilots, our first year FOs, you're making it right around $100,000 a year. Yeah, it's great.
Man, I remember back when they would start with Comair, you were looking good to make $18,000 a year.
Absolutely, I remember that.
That's the start. You don't stay there long, but some people, they can't afford to live long enough to get out of that rent. But man, that is great.
And it's a far cry. I mean, on the cadet side itself, if you're a part of the cadet program, we give you $15,000 to play with. So on that side of it, you can use that to build time. You can use that for room and board. We pay that directly.
Jet ski.
Jet ski. Just know you have to work for us for 2 years as well. So.
Wow. I keep trying to come up with different things to get more people involved with wanting to go to the airlines. The TPP, we're horrible in aviation of using acronyms, but throw out what TPP.
Tuition Payment Program, and it's our A&P pipeline program.
Okay, and that's strictly for the A&P side of the house. And what do you call it for the operational side of the house?
So for the flight side, we call it the cadet program.
Okay.
And that's the one where we actually give you money to go fly. And we have, for those of you that aren't to the point where you have the certificates to join the program or the hours, we have the ambassador program, which is for folks that are either interested in becoming a pilot or they already hold their licenses or their certificates, such as their private pilot. And it gives them a mentorship. It allows them to discuss with their peers about what's going on in their training. It's a great group. They're very active. They love to talk about airplanes all day long. I look at the IMs and the chats and the DMs, and it's just funny. I mean, once you get into it, you really love it, and I think it really gives people an outlet to really fall in love with aviation and Piedmont.
I'm going to share something with the group, and you're going to smile. You're already smiling.
I try to.
Reserve. You know, the big thing is when you join an airline, you go to work for an airline, and you want to know what is your schedule. Well, we don't know. You're on reserve. Well, what does that mean? What does that mean?
So reserve is you're a backup. And so what happens is let's say someone gets sick, one of the pilots gets sick, and you get called in on reserve. So meaning that you're on call, you have to come to the airport, and you go fly. And depending on, you may fly that day, you may not. You could be at home just watching TV and you get called out to the airport. But there's some pros and cons to that, right? You may not always know your schedule, but it's a random schedule, right? So people do like that. And you're going to be able to plan your life out. Even though you may not be going anywhere, you still have the day off, or you still have the ability to do your laundry that day. You just have to be at the airport when they call.
And you might have to step away from that third margarita.
You might.
But just bear in mind that I'm on call.
Yep.
Really, you're on call. But once you get beyond your reserve and you're able to hold a line, I learned these lingo things, but once you have a line, what a great life. I
It
mean,
is a great
you do your
life.
job, and actually you can aviate as long as you're not on call. You can go flying.
You can.
Go have fun in aviation.
Absolutely. And we encourage it.
Tyler, what would you like to leave us with as parting thoughts with going to work for Piedmont Airlines?
If you've ever had an inkling or a want to go work for an airline, you have been intrigued by planes, your eyes are always towards the sky, take a look at Piedmont. It's an organization that is built on 4 things. It's compliance, communication, caring, compliance, communication, and community is the 4 things we build ourselves on, and we live by that on a daily basis.
I'm going to throw one more in there: excellence.
I
Tyler,
appreciate it.
excellent interview, and we'll see you out on the ramp. And you're going to be here for the night air show tonight?
I will be, and
Absolutely.
come see me at in Hangar A or at the Career Center.
We'll see you on the ramp.
All right, thank you.
All right, this is Ben Coleman, and we'll see you tomorrow at the next interview.